So a little bit later this week, Inside Louisville will premiere on KET, and the show will feature conversations with Louisville's biggest newsmakers and personalities to showcase everything that makes this city so very special. The weekly program was going to be hosted by former WHAS 11 anchor Kelsey Starks, and she joins us now with a preview of this big news show. Kelsey, I'm so excited for you. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Right, this is just a shameless excuse for me to catch up with you too.
Well,
right?
this is something we've been talking about for a while, because
Yeah.
I know I told you we're working on this new show, and now here it is.
Right? Like, are you just loving your time at KET? First of all, it's like great to see you involved so much. You went from what, news quiz to then second, what do you do now?
Yeah, we were doing
quiz,
Kentucky Edition,
and
I do contributing reports for that. And then we came up with this new show called Inside Louisville. It's been in the works for a while. You know, Louisville's Kentucky's biggest city, and KET is a statewide network, and it's really a chance for us to showcase the good stories about Louisville to the rest of the state. And so we get to sit down with some of the biggest, you know, personalities, take you to like the cool places, and show off what's really cool about our city.
I always remember that working with you here. You would always say, what about this story? What about this? Why aren't we doing this story? Right? Well, these are good stories. These are good news stories.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is like such a great spot for you, because you finally get to like tell these stories that you've always advocated that we need to get into and share.
Yeah,
because we get bogged down by, I think, the negatives sometimes, that we forget all the stories that are great that are right around us.
Right, and there's a part of news that, you know, I don't know that anybody really likes, of covering a bus crash or a horrible thing that happened, and you know, that weighs on you, and especially having to tell a story in a minute and a half. I mean, that's hard.
It's
and
not
so,
right.
I mean, this is going to allow me to really dive deep and talk to these people for a long time. It's 30 minutes, and it's with one person or place or experience, and really spend some time learning about it. And I have learned something new in every interview I've done, and that's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Something that you're like, I already know this story, or I know this person, but it kind of surprised you.
Well, you know, when you're talking to somebody, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that, and I thought I knew this person, or knew of them at least. So it's really great to be able to really tell those stories in a long form way.
Right, and to be able to have the time to tell it.
Exactly.
Put the work into it, the research. So what's coming up that you can let us in on?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some great guests. This Sunday is our premiere episode, and we interview Teddy Abrams from the Louisville Orchestra. He is amazing.
He's one that I feel like when you peel back the layers of who he is was he one that you're like, I didn't?
Yes, it is phenomenal. He is a genius. He's so brilliant, and I thought it was so interesting. We also interviewed Chef Edward Lee.
I love him.
It was funny to me how they had similar stories about how they came to Louisville, didn't know anything about the city, and as you know, this city can kind of grow on you and suck you in a little bit, and they were, you know, they decided, hey, I want to live here, and not only live here, they invest in our community, they inspire change, they make great things happen, and they lift us all up just for being passionate about what they do and doing it here. And so I think it's just great to be able to tell those stories, and we've got some really great guests. Those are two of them. We had Dan Oliver from Dano Seasoning. What a cool, like, entrepreneurial story about, you know, how he's just skyrocketed now.
Just putting seasoning on chicken in his backyard.
Right?
Who knew?
And now this multi-million-dollar business, and right here in Louisville, so that's great. We have
What's his tagline? What does he say when you make the stuff? Get it?
Now I'm gonna
get it.
Get you some.
Get you some.
Yum yum. Get you some.
Yum yum. Get you some. Did you say that in the story? Did he make you say? Of course. Of course I did.
Of course you do. So anyway, yeah, we've got, and then we have some sports people. We've got, we had DeCorey Johnson from America's Got Talent.
Cool.
So you know we have 40 episodes planned, which I know to you doesn't seem like
that's
much.
Stressful when you look at
but you do one every day. But
oh my gosh,
that was very daunting to me.
That's more of a longer
because
format.
It's longer form.
Yeah.
But you know, there are so many great stories in this city. I have already been like, I have a list like 3 times that length now of people I want to talk to or stories I want to tell, and it just keeps growing. And so, yeah, there's plenty of stories to tell here. I'm just really excited to have the chance to get to do it.
We love seeing you do all this stuff too, right? Like, well, I think too for us at WHAS, we love seeing like our alums doing these big things,
Well,
doing things that you love, and it's like, you know, we loved watching you on GMK and we loved watching your stories, but to continue seeing you turn these different corners and do different things, it just makes us all proud.
Well, it's
right?
so great. I
Just
will
does.
always consider WHAS my home, and that is purely because of you all and how you all continue to, you know, help
Keep on
out
trucking.
and
We keep
support
on
me and
keeping on, don't we?
everything, and just even to bring me on here. And so I love WHAS, and I could never have done what I'm doing now without that, you know, foundation, and that's my home, and it was built here. So yeah, I love you guys.
Well, we love having you back. And on a personal note, I loved looking at all your pictures of you went to the Taylor Swift concert.
Oh my
Of you and everybody else.
Yeah.
Except me. Right. You took the girls.
I
Well, the whole
took
family
the girls.
went.
The whole family. Chris went to. Yeah.
What did Chris think of that? Did he get dressed up?
Oh, he wore a 22 red shirt, which was actually a basketball shirt, but my daughter was like, it'll work with the red album.
They looked great.
And yeah, we had a blast. You know, it's one of those things, you know, when you have kids that age, it was like, well, this is probably the last concert they're going to want to go with me to.
Right.
You know, there's like a limited amount of time until they're like, yeah, next time Taylor Swift comes, I'm going with friends. So
Sorry, Mom.
yeah,
You
so
look cute in your outfit, Mom.
I know.
But anyway,
I did have to do a lot of
did.
homework
You did
because I was
good.
like, oh, I have to pick an era, and there was a lot of pressure, and what's your favorite album, and the friendship bracelets. It was a lot to learn.
Right. Right. I bet just the ordeal getting the tickets and getting there.
It was a process. Yes, it was.
like a whole.
I like to say it was karma how we got tickets at the last
really?
minute.
Oh my
see?
gosh,
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy. So.
You going on any trips later this summer? Anything else going on?
You know what? No, I'm so like, this was because the show's premiering. I just really didn't. And this is my first summer back to work too, you know, full time.
yeah.
So that's a whole, you know, you're figuring that out with the
Yes.
kids and everything. So it's been just fine. But yeah, we're going to do a fall trip, I think, this year.
I like
so.
follow her on Instagram, please, because following Kelsey on Instagram is like so fun to see the adventure, the whole family
We have
adventures.
some adventures.
Right? And they're all documented there.
Yeah,
to
we
make
also
us-
have a Inside Louisville Instagram. It's
good, yes.
KET in Lou. So
Love it.
you can follow our behind the scenes.
So be sure to
adventures.
watch a debut coming up this Sunday. And for everything else you want to follow Inside Louisville, right there, just go to
Thank you.
KET.org. It's always great catching up with you, Kelsey.
So good to see you. Thank
Love
you.
having you back here.